Hi, this is Greg McCoach, editor of the Mining Speculator. I'm here today with two participants from the management team of Reyna Silver. Reyna Silver obviously is a company I've been following since its inception, and it's nice to have both President and CEO Jorge Ramiro Monroy with us, as well as Head of Investor Relations Lauren Megaw. Lauren, Jorge, welcome to the interview.
Nice to talk to you today, Greg.
Thank you, Greg. It's great to see you again.
Yeah. So we got 10 minutes here. Let's make the most effective use of this. Jorge, why don't you just start with some just introductory comments to what's going on right now as far as the assets go, the drilling, any assay news that you can talk about, and then you can turn it over to Lauren and she can take and do the interview with me from there. We'll take the questions from there.
Absolutely. We've been, since we released our last batch of results from Guigui and Batopilas, we've been doing additional geological work, mostly geophysics and also some structural geologic work. But we're ramping up and getting ready to do an additional 8,000 meters at Guigui, which we're calling phase 3. We're also in the midst of finishing up phase 1 at Batopilas. That's another 3,000 meters. And very exciting, we announced last week that our plans for Medicine Springs. We're finishing up our permitting for the drilling. We think we're a few weeks away from that. And our plan is to start the first drill campaign at Medicine Springs towards the end of the summer, early fall. So we have a budget for 7,000 meters there. So it's very, very exciting times. And it'd be great to have Lauren maybe talk to us a little bit more about some of the what we're trying to reach at each one of the assets. But overall, we put a portfolio of properties that I think each of them are strong enough to be its own company. So the fact that we have them under one umbrella, it's something that's quite unique.
Oh, very unique. Solid projects, all district scale projects that could deliver in a big way, huge potential. Yeah,
absolutely.
So Lauren, you and I talked at the MIF, of course, and we got some good questions from the audience about this new gold discovery for a silver company.
Yeah.
I know that there seemed to be a lot of interest in that from the people who were responding during the MIF. So how do you want to take the time here? Because we got 7 minutes.
I guess the way that I would highlight the gold aspect is, that we can jokingly say that, the Spanish came in looking for gold and they found this incredible native silver district. And we came in saying, okay, we know there's native silver here. How much bigger does this thing get? And not only have we found additional high-grade silver, but now we've also found this brand new, quite literally, element in the district with gold. And, the gold isn't, there's a couple of factors that makes us excited about the gold. One is that it's not just like we have a whiff of gold. We've actually got serious grades of gold. We have one area that comes back 36 grams per ton gold. We have an area that's at hole 42A. We intersected 3.65 meters of over 8 grams per ton gold. And if we use the Archie's cutoff of 2 meters at 8 grams per ton gold, that gets us, over that limit. It tells us not only do we have gold, but we've got gold. The other aspect is because the mineralization style for the gold is different from the silver. It tells us that we're probably dealing with 2 different mineralizing centers.
Yep.
But we also have an aspect where we've got the native silver area and we've got the northeast gold zone, and they actually overlap in the middle. And they're taking advantage of the same structures. They're different parts of those structures, so they're not temporally at the same time, but it gives us the chance to potentially leverage that gold mineralization against the silver and vice versa as a way to better understand these structures that has always been sort of one of the key linchpins, as it were, into figuring out what's going on, and created this native silver district that produced 300 million ounces.
Well, it's still early stage to say this, but it sounds sounds like it's more economic if we have some gold mixed in there with the silver, if it's all close together.
You know, my general theory on these things is people get like, oh, I just want silver. I'm like, well, but what if you had, you know, some silver companies are going out there buying a gold asset, and
Right.
we found one in our pretty great silver project.
And it's a shame, the assays that came out, that got my attention for sure in that area of the world in particular. But, you know, the market's snoring right now. They could care less about even good results. So,
but then again, I guess that benefits people who are
Smart
awake
enough.
and paying attention to the sales.
That's
So,
right. This is always the time to buy. And, you know, I've been getting a lot of questions from, you know, the subscribers about, you know, how to play this, you know, and some people need cash in the next few months. Some people don't need to worry, they can hold or buy more. So it's all related to what people can do, but it's obviously a good buy opportunity for sure.
and did you have questions on the other two projects as well?
Well, why don't you just, we got 4 minutes.
Okay.
Why don't you take 2 minutes on each, and let's just wrap it up after that.
Sounds good. So our other two projects are two carbonate replacement deposits, and you know, we can get all technical on CRDs, but the way that I like to think about it is that you've got a source intrusion, it's like a bus terminal, right?
An engine of, you know.
Yeah, but you know, I'm thinking more like, you know, public transport. I mean, granted, in a city that works, right, where you get these different routes of mineralization coming out. You got a little bus that's going along, and the elements are getting off at different spots. And what this allows us to do from an exploration perspective is, if you can identify the end of a route, and you can identify the source of the mineralization, you know, the bus terminal, the source,
Right.
you actually work the ends against the middle, because, you know, like a bus terminal that's based downtown, you get that voluminous zone around, like, you know, the downtown area. And as you work your way out, you can identify different neighborhoods, and that allows you to move your way around to find that full continuum. So our Guigui project, which is in the Santa Eulalia district, which is one of the largest carbonate replacement deposits in the world, we know that that whole 500 million ounces of silver just came from the distal portion. So the question has always been, where's that bus terminal? Where's that proximal downtown area?
Right. Yeah, that's
The other aspect is, how many major cities have you ever been to where there's only one bus route?
yeah.
So that's another perspective. With Medicine Springs, we have a situation where we think we have the full CRD continuum preserved. So whereas with Guigui, you've got 500 million ounces of silver that have already been mined. At Medicine Springs, we think we have all the way from the porphyry out to the very distal portion. And you know, the thing about CRDs is that bus terminal tends to be a porphyry. At Guigui, it's probably a barren porphyry, but at Medicine Springs, you're in the territory of big porphyry copper giants. I mean, Ely, Mount Hamilton, Elko, those are all nearby. So there's also that possibility, and I realize that's a forward-looking statement, but there is the possibility from a geologic perspective of the thing driving the system could also be productive in its own right. And you know, when you look at the Jasperoid study that came out of Medicine Springs, I mean, incredibly strong structural controls. So it allows us to get a little window into what's going on at depth. It is some of the most distinct bullseye-shaped zonation from copper, lead, zinc, silver. And you know, these things are radial. The reason it doesn't extend up into the northeast is because it goes undercover. But what it tells us is there's something at depth. This is high-level leakage, and you know, the possibilities at Medicine Springs are one of those things where I have to remind myself to, you know, not get too excited when talking about this project. But you know, I'm really looking forward to drilling there at the end of the summer, beginning of fall, and seeing whether or not, you know, this place, and you know, my dad and I are out there looking at it. It's a pair of kids in the candy shop, and you get off the project and you're like, Jorge, we need to quadruple the claims. And you know, now we finally get to drill at it. So
yeah. And from layman's perspective, what you're really saying is that this is elephant country. That's the most important thing for people to understand who are not geologically as up to speed. It's elephant country and it looks very good, high potential. Let's let the drilling decide. So I'm excited. Well, with that, we got to wrap up. We're right at the 10-minute mark. So Lauren, Jorge, thanks so much for joining me. And we'll look forward to seeing you at one of the upcoming shows.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.